Australia's been actually very fortunate as far as the financial crisis is concerned, and particularly when we look at, say, Southeast Asia and arrivals from here, we've certainly noticed that throughout 2009 and into the first half of 2010, growth has actually been quite positive from this region into Australia. Well, what we actually did during the financial crisis was not neglect our brand, of course, but in actual fact we went into more promotions with our travel agent partners, airlines, and really, I guess, positioned Australia as a great value destination. I think you never stop learning, and certainly with the financial crisis we had to react very quickly to obviously ensuring that Australia remained a great value for money destination, because it was very clear that the consumers were looking for great deals, and the best way to do that was obviously working with our partners who are out there obviously putting together their own packages, also the airlines who were doing fantastic deals at the time. Certainly the biggest change is that the consumers has more choice these days, and there's no doubt that the arrival of the low-cost carriers onto the scene in Southeast Asia has certainly opened up travel for many more people, and the client out there these days certainly has a lot of choice, and Australia is one of many destinations that is now on their shopping list. At the same time, obviously, we also have to be aware that not only travel products, but also other consumer products are competing for the same disposable income that people have. The arrivals from Southeast Asia into Australia actually didn't really slump during the financial crisis. We actually continued to maintain a fairly strong market share, and really all the markets actually saw growth. But what we have been able to do is obviously recognise that the consumer out there is increasingly becoming more savvy about seeking information, using certainly the internet more and more for research, and in some markets particularly for the great deals that are being offered out there as well. One area that we've really moved into now is our Visiting Opinion Leaders program, and there's no doubt that these people with their blogs, their comments, their views, etc., are certainly attracting keen followings as far as Australia are concerned. What we're finding is that people are using this research to either as a form of motivation or else to help them with planning their vacation, to ensure that they have a holiday that's really tailored to their experiences rather than depending on other ways or means. Priority markets are Singapore and Malaysia and also Indonesia. We've noticed that Indonesia is certainly experiencing great growth into Australia. The past probably 12 to 18 months, our average annual growth has been 15+%, and we're fairly confident that we'll finish this year close to 20% up on last year. Singapore continues to be a very solid performer for Australia. It's the sixth most important source of arrivals, and this year the forecast is for about 307,000 visitors. That said, Malaysia also remains a strong market for us. Last year was the first time we crossed the 200,000 visitor arrivals from there, actually coming in at about 211,000. And we hope this year that there'll be about a 7% increase on that particular number as well. We're also putting more investment into Vietnam. Whilst that's coming from a small base, there's no doubt that the growing middle class in Vietnam, who has a propensity to travel, are certainly seeking for new experiences. And of course Australia has an advantage with Vietnam in that there are strong family links between both countries. We also continue to market in Thailand. Particularly we find with Thailand some good business coming on the incentive market, and we're hopeful that arrivals from Thailand will probably come in at around about 85 to 90,000 for 2010. there's no doubt that the online and social media space is becoming more important for us as an organisation. There's word-of-mouth discussions are increasingly gaining prominence, particularly amongst people who are travelling. But that said, we obviously won't be neglecting print and broadcast. We believe that a combination of all is still very apt at this point in time. The online and social media has certainly become increasingly important for Australia, and the new campaign, There's Nothing Like Australia, really lends itself very much to this type of promotional activity. That said, Tourism Australia has its own Facebook site, and the most recent figures, I think we've now got over 700,000 fans who are really out there being great advocates for Australia and what the destination can offer for people considering a holiday down under.